Hello YouTube, this is Kitty Clinical here with another video, and today I want to talk about a topic as a physician personally, and that is the question of medical school being worth it. Is it worth it today in this economy, in this environment, post-COVID? Is it worth it to go to medical school? It's a very interesting topic. I think a lot of people want to know the answer to this, and as someone who's been through medical school, gone through, residency, I want to let you know it's worth it. It's worth it if you've gone through everything and you've done the residency and all that stuff. It's worth it. But I leave this with a caveat that it's going to take a long time to get those gains back. Okay, so you got to think of it about this from multiple angles. You want to think about it from the level of happiness, which is probably the most important level. You want to think about it at the financial level, or maybe let's not call it levels, because that implies that one is more important than the other. I'd say happiness is the most important thing, but the other angle at it you have to approach it at is financial. What is your current financial situation? Can you afford medical school? Can you take on the risks of medical school? Because going to medical school does not guarantee that you're going to become a doctor, and hopefully that's pretty obvious given the fact that people get kicked out of medical school all the time. People fail the USMLE exam all the time. Even the people who go to residency, going to residency does not guarantee that you finish residency. There's plenty of people who don't finish residency, and I can tell you that from firsthand experience of having friends or knowing people who have gone through these type of situations. So, is medical school worth it? If you can take on the risks financially, from a happiness level, because you are sacrificing your happiness for a few years, maybe even a decade, yeah, it's going to be tough. And the other question you have to ask yourself is, what type of doctor do you want to be? Because simply being a doctor doesn't really mean a whole lot. There's a lot of different types of doctors, and every doctor has a different set of experiences, a different set of skills. You can't just say I want to be a doctor and maybe you don't know what you want to be, and that's completely fine. A lot of people who don't know what they want to be when they grow up, typically they go on to do general practice like family medicine, internal medicine, and that's completely fine. But you should at least have some sort of idea or like interest, or maybe like you don't know what you want to be, but you have some sort of idea, or at the very least you're thinking about it. If you're not thinking about it or not considering what type of doctor you want to be, you should start thinking about that decision. And we'll talk more about this in the future videos. But my answer to this question, is medical school worth it, is yes, it's worth it, but with a big, big asterisk, big caveat, footnotes, big, big caveat that you have to understand the risks and you have to weigh the risks and benefits. But yes, as someone from the other side of the field, someone who's gone through the biggest hills and mountains, it's worth it, but not everybody goes to that point. Not everybody graduates. Not everybody successfully finishes. Not everybody who wants to become a doctor becomes a doctor. And that is the unfortunate reality of the situation. Do you have any idea how many doctors there are in the world? Like, what proportion of people in the world are actually doctors compared to the general population? I can tell you this, it is less than 1%. Way less than 1%. I will give you the numbers at some point in a future video. I'll have to do further research on that. But I've talked to people about it. I've actually looked it up online a couple years ago, and it was low. It was definitely less than 1%. And think about how many people who go to college say, I want to be a doctor. I'm going to become pre-med, take all these classes. And then when you think about less than 1%, now not everybody, people who go to college are going to be maybe more motivated to become doctors versus someone who's not in college or not in college yet, because obviously you should be going to college. You must be going to college in order to go to medical school, right? But yeah, I mean, these are all topics that I'm free to answer and discuss more in the comments down below. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I will be doing more of these kind of discussion videos and thought videos. But I'm also open to hearing everybody's point of view on this subject. So feel free to comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.